Alaska, November. The first snow had already covered the ground, turning the endless forests into a white silence. Hunter Jack followed the bear tracks left in the fresh snow. He knew this beast was not just a trophy, but a challenge. The bear was a massive grizzly, and its tracks indicated it was nearby. Jack checked his rifle, a Winchester Model 70, made sure the bullets were in place, and moved on, trying not to make noise. His breath turned into small clouds of vapor in the cold air. Jack was an experienced hunter, but every time he went after a grizzly, he felt a slight tension. These beasts were unpredictable. He remembered the words of his mentor, Old Bill, who once said that a grizzly is not just an animal, it's a force of nature. Respect it, and it will respect you. The tracks led him deeper into the forest. Jack walked slowly, carefully scanning his surroundings. The silence was broken only by the occasional cry of a raven. He knew the bear was close. Suddenly, he noticed that the tracks had deepened. This meant the bear had slowed down. Jack stopped and listened. The wind blew in his face, masking his scent. He knew this was his advantage, but at the same time he understood that the grizzly could be anywhere, behind a tree, in the bushes, or even behind him. Jack cautiously moved forward, keeping his rifle ready. His eyes scanned the area for any signs of movement. Suddenly he heard a rustle. It wasn't just the wind, it was something big. He froze. From behind the trees, a massive figure of a bear emerged. The grizzly stood on its hind legs, staring in his direction. Jack felt his heart race. He knew the bear had noticed him. The bear dropped to all fours and began to approach slowly. Jack raised his rifle but didn't shoot. He hoped the beast would leave on its own. But the grizzly didn't back down. Its eyes gleamed, and a low growl echoed through the forest. Jack realized that a confrontation was inevitable. He took aim, but at that moment, the grizzly suddenly charged forward. Jack fired, but the bear was already too close. A clawed paw struck Jack's shoulder, and he felt a sharp pain as he fell into the snow. The rifle slipped from his hands. The bear roared, but the shot had done its job. The beast turned and disappeared into the thicket, leaving a trail of blood behind. Jack lay in the snow, feeling blood seep through his jacket. He knew he had to act fast. Gritting his teeth, he pulled a first aid kit from his backpack. His hands trembled, but he managed to bandage the wound. The pain was unbearable, but he knew this was his only chance to survive. Jack knew the bear wouldn't go far. The shot had been precise. He gathered all his strength to get back on his feet. His head was spinning, but he knew he had to reach the camp. He walked, leaning on trees to keep from falling. Blood continued to seep through, but the bandage held. Jack knew that if he stopped, he might not make it. After a few hours, he heard voices. It was his friends searching for him. Jack shouted, and soon they found him. "Are you okay, Jack?" asked his friend Tom, kneeling beside him. "Alive," Jack whispered. "But the bear, it's out there." The hunters followed the blood trail and found the grizzly. The beast lay in the bushes, already lifeless. Jack, despite his wound, managed to reach the camp. This hunt had taught him a lesson. In the forests of Alaska, there is no room for mistakes. Sitting by the campfire, Jack told the story to the other hunters. His wound was healing, but the memory of that day would stay with him forever. He realized that hunting was not just about trophies, but also about respecting nature, its power, and its dangers. "Now I know," he said, "that caution and preparation are everything. One wrong move, and nature won't forgive." Tom nodded. "You're right, Jack, but you made it, and that's what matters." Jack smiled, looking at the fire. He knew he would return to these forests, but next time he would be better prepared.